What about it? Today we're going to be doing a mid-season mini lawn renovation because
This lawn is in an apocalyptic state.
that's right, Jason, this lawn is terrible, and I've talked about it in the past. Well, it's not suitable for around 90% of most gardens. Now, I've got something really important to discuss with you, but more on that later.
And we've teamed up with our friends over at Moja for this video.
So this is a well-used lawn, mostly for dogs, and this is the result of the dogs. This is the first patch, and behind me there's something even worse. We're going to take our trusty knife and we're going to dig out a small section of the lawn to show you what the problem is underneath the lawn. So here's the core that came out of the lawn, and you can see that we have, I call it the bouncy layer, the thatch layer. So this between here and here, this is thatch, this is an organic layer, and then we have our soil. And then because the builder, he put in a lot of sand, so we see the sand in the profile. Because we aerate, the roots are going down through it. But the problem is this thatch layer. So what happens with a fescue lawn is you get a lot of thatch. So for today, we're going to be doing some verticutting to help remove some of that, because it's too early in the year to be scarifying, because it's been very dry this summer, so we definitely don't want to scarify. But today we're going to verticut. We're going to try and get through some of this burnt material, because for anyone that doesn't know, if you have dog's pee burning your lawn, what actually happens is you see the green round the outside, and in the middle you have the burn. How that's caused is your dog builds up urea, especially at night time. So you let your dog out first thing in the morning. Dog has built up all that pee within its body. It goes out onto the lawn and it pees. So what happens is then that urea, which is just a form of nitrogen, gets all dumped on top of the lawn and it burns it. So that's what's caused all these patches on the lawn, is from the dog's pee, from the dog burning the lawn. So today we're going to get the verticutter out, give the lawn a verticut, see what way it looks, and then I'm going to show you some other ways to deal with it, and plus we're going to be doing some seeding. So our next step, we're going to take our Mototech verticutter and do some verticutting.
So the difference between a scarifier and a verticutter, a scarifier is a lot harsher, so it rips out material, where the verticutter, what it does, it goes over gently and cuts the lateral growth.
A 100,000 subscribers, absolutely blown away, amazed and really humbled they hit the 100,000. I never ever thought that it would. And I've been making videos consistently on YouTube for about 6 years now, so we spend quite a bit of time on it, but I'm really, really fortunate now to get the 100,000. So thank you everyone who subscribes. I've decided to change direction slightly. Don't worry, we're still going to be making the lawn care content, start doing some free gardening out in the community and hopefully transforming some gardens. And plus then I get the satisfaction from helping other people out. Whenever we'll have a look in and see the stuff that's come out, we've pulled out quite a bit of material, but you can just see that's all the lateral growth. So although the garden was cut beforehand, and this is set to the same height, you can see just how much material the lateral growth has come out of this very big lawn. We're going to measure it very soon and you're going to see what size it is. As we've seen from the burn from the dog urine stroke dog pee, burnt on the inside and green round the outside, if we just get our grass seed and throw it down without trying to deal with that first, then there's a good chance, even if we mix the grass seed with some soil, it's not going to grow. So what we want to do is we want to break up that surface. So we've got a variety of tools here to try out. This is a really useful tool. You can buy these off Amazon to fit onto a drill. Be careful with it. Be careful doing it on hard ground because it can be tough. But an auger just is really good. This is actually a bulb planter. It's called an auger. It's a really good job just for breaking up the soil. We've got some other tools here. So with the springtime rake to give it a bit of a rake. We all know that aeration's good, so we're going to give the patches a fork, put the fork down in and give it a move about. That's going to help break up that urea. And lastly, I have a new tool to try, and I don't know whether or not this is going to work, but I have a weed puller here. So for people like myself who have a bad back, I think this here might be a good job at helping us break up the soil and preparing. So let's give it a go. So we can see we've left our soil. That's now ready for new soil to go in. And we've taken away all the burn. So that should be enough to help that recover. So with the auger or any tools you use for this, you're not looking to dig big holes. You're just looking to take away that top layer of burnt soil.
So what this does is when you push it into the ground, you can use this to stand on as well to force it in. As it goes in, you lever backwards, use this as a lever which pinches all the material, and as you pull it out, just makes it so much easier. And then when you get over the bucket, you slide the handle and it releases all the material out. So as you can see, not only is it pulling out some of the dead grass, it's also getting some of the thatch out as well. So for these bigger patches, this tool isn't going to cut the mustard. So let's get on to the next one. Now to put some effort in.
So this way is more like Scarfan. We're just going to be really raking these areas really hard to try and pull out all that dead material.
So the way we mow this, the grass rolls over to one way. I found it pulls out a lot better if we go against the way the grass is laying.
So the thing with the rake, if you're going to be doing it with this method, it's important not that you're just pulling out the dead material. Take the rake, make sure to scrape to break up the surface. There is another step that you should do, but we aerate this lawn on a regular basis, plus it's hardly rained here in the last 2 months and the ground's going to be rock hard, so I'm going to skip this today. So these spots here, if you just threw grass seed down into it, the chances are it wouldn't take. You have to prepare the ground or the soil for the seed. Our first method, and this is pretty good, and that is putting some seed and some soil into a bucket and then some soil over the top. You want to give it a really good shake, and that pulls the seed up from the bottom. So that is a pretty nice consistency there. You can see the seeds mixed the whole way through. So the thing in, just dump it in, put your foot on top of it. So you want to press it down so there's good seed to soil contact. There's a reason why I always recommend this device for any time we're top dressing lawns. The biggest question I always get in all my videos, anytime we're top dressing lawns, people say, how much soil do I need? So if you're a professional or if you're someone that just happens to like measure and stuff, then this little tool is a fantastic add-on for your business, because it'll measure your lawn, it'll tell you contours, it'll tell you drops, it'll tell you a lot of different really useful things about your lawn, and it's all easily shareable with clients.
So this lawn is measuring at 128 metres squared, but it's actually bigger than you think. There's some really big lawns at this property, And there's big gradients as well, which is what the Mojo 2 Pro is going to show you now. No matter the size of your job, Mojo 2 Pro has got you covered. Let's really show you the power of the Mojo 2 Pro. We've measured the lawns, all the lawns at this property at over 2,000 metres squared. So here we've got the top lawn, the middle lawn and the bottom lawn, and at the top edge here, that's the steps going down. Wait till you see this. Look at the gradient that we've got here, from the top all the way down to the bottom. Fantastic. We've got a 2D view here, which you can also throw into 3D, which will show the levels. But this one just shows you everything in detail. From your high spots all the way down to your low spots.
And everything in between.
Look at the size of that. So our top lawn was measuring at 128 metres squared. So that just gives you an example of how big that bottom lawn really is. Like I said, all these lawns together are over 2,000 metres squared, and the Mojo 2 Pro has measured it all in one go. Check the link in the description to get your Mojo 2 Pro today.
So this is the same method as before. We want to just throw a load in, mix it through, and then throw some more compost in after that, and then we'll be good to go. So our next couple of jobs, or our next job, is to level this area out. So we have a couple of different ways to do it. So last year we bought this lawn loot off Amazon for a video with the cheapest lawn care tools. I think that was one of the best buys from last year.
Definitely.
Next task, just a light layer of the top dressing over all the lawn. So happy days. Our next jobs is we're going to be putting on some seaweed and some pre-seeder. So with our pre-seeder, we're not going to go on at the full rate, because if we think back to the dog urine, the dog pee stains, they contain urea, which is nitrogen, which burns the soil. So if we put on the pre-seeder at the full rate, then there's a chance that we might end up causing more burns on the lawn, but we also want the seeds to get off to a good start. So that's why we're going to use the pre-seeder and then back that up with the iGrow seaweed. This is actually stuff that we got in the try. The stuff that we're selling in the shop is actually smaller than this. So we want our fertilizers, I decided that I wanted the fertilizers the same size as the rest of the granules. So that's just, so then whenever you come to your spreader, whatever size your spreader is, then you're not going to have to change the settings that much to go from summer or spring to pre-seeder. Go ahead, Jason.
Let's grow some carpet.
So we're back 1 week later to see how the lawn looks. Come on with me. So happy days, 1 week on, and we can start to see the grass seeding.